When she let go, I built without her. My name's Caleb Winters. When all of this began, I was 30 years old and running my own modest IT consultancy. It wasn't glamorous. Network infrastructure, server upkeep, cybersecurity audits. But I'd built it from the ground up after walking away from a backbreaking warehouse job. It paid the bills and gave me freedom. And to me, that mattered more than luxury or status. I met Isabel Park at a fintech networking event downtown. She was studying for her CPA and working part-time at a payroll firm. I wasn't looking for a relationship, just trying to grow my contacts, but she had this sharp, cut-through-the-noise presence that immediately caught me off guard. We didn't flirt. We debated tax codes and data privacy law for 2 straight hours. Isabel was pragmatic, grounded. She didn't daydream out loud about fairy tales. She read IRS policy updates for fun. 2 weeks later, we were sharing quick lunches between her lectures and my site visits. No movie nights, no candlelit dinners. Just takeout, laptops, and the low hum of mutual ambition. She'd be reading case law or revising depreciation schedules while I ran penetration tests and patched outdated systems. I respected her hustle. She came from a tough spot. Her dad had died years back, her mom lived 2 states over, and she was on her own, grinding. Helped where I could. Paid her remaining tuition once when her loans fell short. Covered her CPA final review course. She protested at first, said she'd pay me back, but I just smiled and said, "This is an investment." My best friend Jordan noticed what was happening. One night, beer in hand, he said, "You're treating her like a tech startup, man. Pouring in capital, building her foundation, expecting long-term ROI. It stung a bit, but not because it was cruel. 'Cause it wasn't wrong. I was building something with her, or so I thought. Isabel passed all her exams on her first try. 6 months later, she landed a job at one of the top accounting firms in the state. We got married in a quiet courthouse ceremony. No frills, no guests. Just her and me and a notary. "I don't need a wedding," she told me. "I need a future." I loved that line. Thought we were aligned. But I didn't see the shift coming. After her first major promotion, the late nights started. At first I celebrated it, told her I was proud. She'd worked for it. But then came the skipped dinners, the business trips that blurred into weeks, and the phone that never left her hand. I was talking to her, but she was always halfway into an email chain. I remember one night. She came home after 10, kicked off her shoes, eyes still on a Slack notification. I asked, "Did you eat?" She didn't even look up. "Yeah. We ordered in with the audit team." No kiss. No warmth. Just passed right by me like I was a hallway fixture. That became normal. And whenever I brought up the future, kids, vacations, even just upgrading to a bigger apartment, she brushed it aside. "Let's revisit that next quarter." So I gave her space. Picked up more contracts. Tried to believe this was just a busy season. But in my gut, I started to see the truth. Isabel's path didn't seem to include me anymore. And then came that Tuesday. Just another workday. I finished a firewall install for a logistics company and picked up dinner on the way home. Walked into the apartment, expecting the usual quiet night. She was already home, sitting upright on the couch, still in her blazer, arms folded. Didn't even glance up when I walked in. "You're home early," I said. She nodded. "We need to talk." Froze. My hands were still full of takeout containers. She reached into her bag, pulled out a folder, and slid it across the coffee table. "Divorce papers," she said calmly. "It's all straightforward. No court mess. I'm not touching your business or accounts. Already talked to my lawyer." I sat down. "Quiet, son." "Why now?" I asked. She took a breath, rehearsed like she'd said it in her head 100 times. "We've changed, Caleb. Changed. And you haven't." That was it. No betrayal. No blow-up. Just cold detachment. I looked at the paperwork. She'd already signed everything. All I had to do was add my name. So I did. No begging. No guilt-tripping. Just the scratch of a pen on paper. I went to the bedroom, packed a single suitcase, and walked out. She didn't follow. I didn't call Jordan. Didn't crash on anyone's couch. I found a quiet rental across town, moved in and cut the noise. 2 weeks later, the finalized documents came through. Clean break. No alimony. No claims. No fights. My lawyer, Elijah Ng, told me the truth. Unless I had documentation proving those payments to her were loans and not gifts, I had no legal grounds. Nothing to reclaim. And he was right. I had nothing but memory. So I let it go. All of it. The tuition. Years. The future I thought we were building. I gave myself 2 days to feel sorry for myself. Then I got back to work. I took every client call. Started writing custom software again. Traveled for contracts. Focused on scaling. I stopped visiting the places we'd once gone. Avoided the people we used to know. Love, I realized, is easy to fake when someone's still hungry. But the real truth shows up once they've made it. My business exploded. 5 years later, I had a team of 6, a downtown office, and bought a modest house outside the city. No flash, just results. That's when I met Elena Rivas, an architect with a minimalist style and a quiet confidence that didn't ask for applause. We met through a mutual client. She was divorced too. First thing she told me was, "I don't do marriage again. Been there. Paid for it." I laughed. Same. We clicked. No expectations. Just respect and space. Years passed. Then, 10 years after Isabel walked out of my life, she messaged me. I was clearing out old spam from a forgotten Facebook archive when I saw it. "Hey, long time. How have you been?" I didn't feel anything. Not anger. Not nostalgia. Just curiosity. I waited 2 days, then replied, "Doing well. Hope you are too." She responded in an hour. Small talk. Industry articles. Questions about my work. And then the real message came. "I've been doing a lot of thinking about us." Leaned back. There it was. She didn't come back because she missed me. She came back because the life behind her had collapsed. Turns out, her second husband had been reckless. Burned through money, cheated twice. She'd paid his alimony this time. Life flipped. She started saying things like, "You were the most stable man I've ever had. I didn't appreciate what we had. Maybe you never remarried because you were waiting for me." I didn't argue. I just gave her the same cold replies she once gave me. "I've been busy. Maybe later." She kept dangling memories. Thai restaurants. Weekend trips. Talk of retirement. Fear of being alone. But I saw through it. She missed security. Dependability. Someone who didn't ask questions and just showed up. But that man. He didn't exist anymore. One Tuesday morning, I opened her latest message. A long paragraph about second chances, fate, and what-ifs. At noon, I replied, "Isabel, our divorce wasn't the end of something beautiful. It was the beginning of something necessary. Losing you helped me understand who I was, and what I would no longer accept. I didn't wait for you. I rebuilt without you. And I'm better for it." She didn't take it well. Her response. "Wow. So you were just playing with me after everything we had." Then another. "You're like the rest. Cold. Distant. You used me." He spiraled. Late-night messages. Nostalgic throwbacks. Then she crossed a line. Messaged Elena directly. "Hope he told you he's been talking to his ex." That was it. Called Elijah. Didn't need to say much. He had a cease and desist drafted that same day. By the end of the week, she got the letter. I blocked her from everything. That was the last time I ever heard from Isabel Park. I looked over at Elena that night, pencil in hand, sketching out a modern build on tracing paper, music humming low in the background. And for the first time in years, I felt it. No confusion. No second-guessing. Just peace that doesn't ask questions, doesn't move the goalpost, and doesn't leave you behind. Her chapter ended not with fireworks, but with a quiet lock clicking into place behind her. And I never opened that door again.